1 month ago, Roblox made UGC Limiteds a reality, and as of a few days ago, these limiteds finally became resellable. In the last video on the topic, I explained everything new with these limiteds, so I definitely recommend you watch that video first, as it will give a lot of context to points I'll make in this video. First, let's begin with how these limiteds are performing, starting with this limited, which was the first UGC Limited to be released, and as you can see, it's halved in value. I was unfortunate enough to be one of the 500 people who bought this item, so was I unlucky, or is this going to be the new normal for UGC Limiteds? To answer this, we can look at some of the other UGC Limiteds that were released, starting with this limited, which at first glance doesn't appear to be performing bad until you look a bit deeper and realise that Roblox imposes a 50% tax on the resale of UGC Limiteds, meaning everyone who owns this item is halving their money if they sell at the current rate. And it's a similar story for a lot of these limiteds, and when you take the 50% tax into account, you'd be lucky to get even half of your initial investment back. However, some may argue you'd be lucky to get even that back, especially if they are the owner of a limited such as this one, which after being on sale for over 30 days has still failed to sell even half of its available quantity. Maybe I've just selected some bad examples, so I thought I'd show you this limited, which will actually earn you 4 Robux profit, meaning that after waiting the 30-day holding period, you've made an incredible 0.13 Robux per day of holding the item, making it quite a suitable investment, especially considering the current market. Obviously, I'm joking, but an owner of a limited such as this one would argue that there's nothing to laugh about, as only 11% of the available copies have sold, and when you realise that people are selling their limited for lower than the original price, it's understandable to think that it may never sell out. Images like this may make you think twice before spending your Robux on a UGC Limited, but what if you aren't spending any Robux at all? The WhoseCoin was the first UGC Limited to be released for free, and if you're able to get one of the 10,000 available copies, then you are currently sitting on a limited that is actually giving you some profit. Some people could argue this is a bad example, as WhoseTrade is quite a popular developer, but when we're talking about free items, I don't think we have much room to complain. Speaking of popular developers, remember the banana in the last video? Well, as I predicted, that's actually performing considerably well, with 26 of these recently selling for an average of 150,000 Robux each. However, this example is slightly misleading, as you aren't just buying the limited, but you're also buying an in-game collectible, as if you wear this limited while playing Pet Simulator X, then you will get the banana as an in-game pet, leading many people to question if this limited is valuable because it's a limited, or if it's valuable because of the secondary reward. It also leads some people to question the ethics of large developers selling limiteds with secondary rewards, as what is valuable today may not be valuable in a few months from now, and when Preston eventually stops updating the game like he's done to the previous Pet Simulator games, it's understandable that some people believe that limiteds like this will become worthless, and when you further consider that most people who play Pet Simulator X are children, who likely don't have a full understanding of the concept of money, this can appear to be a lot more sinister. With this example, only 99 people were affected, and it only cost them 690 Robux each. However, the same can't be said when we look at one of Preston's more recent limited releases. And can you even blame Preston for doing this? Roblox has allowed this to happen, and when you see how much money Preston is making from these limiteds, it's hard to expect Preston to simply not release limiteds just because he owns a popular game. However, you could also argue that Preston is going a step too far by giving additional rewards for buying his limiteds, and an argument could be made that Preston is using the limited system in a way that Roblox has not intended. This could also be seen as irrelevant when you remember that the items are still on sale and Roblox has not taken any action. So are UGC Limiteds even worth buying? Well, someone looking at this limited may think so, and at first glance this appears to be a really good deal, with a lucky buyer seeming to make almost 20,000 of after-tax profit. However, when you realise that none of these limiteds have sold at that price, you'd be justified in thinking that the real value of the limited is less than what the sellers are making it out to be. And the overall picture appears to support this, with most of the limiteds that appear to be highly valued have recent prices that tell a different story.